With that in mind, let's go to our rock, paper, scissors, brought to you by Wendy's, hosted by Josh McCouga.
Are you ready? Kingpins, Aoki. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. We ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Boom. Have to. They're going to defer. Kingpins get the ball. Let's go, FCF, one more.
There you have the rock, paper, scissors, brought to you by Wendy's. We talk strategy on rock, paper, scissors. Deacon, did I get your answer on what you do in this?
No. No, you did not.
You're holding it back?
I'm holding it back, yeah. I felt like you were trying to trick me there.
That's fair.
I throw it to the chat. Chat, whatever you tell me to do, I'll do first, all right?
I'm keeping notes for a showdown later in the season between these two guys.
Hey, I'm just letting you know I'm not ever starting with paper.
Here's our starting lineup.
I always start with paper. There you go.
We got
I'm never
Mitch
starting
Kidd.
with paper. Just letting you know that.
Mitch the Kid at quarterback, Fred Oki. Terry Jones gets the start for Kingpins. Watch out for Daryl Verges. We talked about him a bit, bruising super back. And of course, on the defensive side of things, again, these defensive units, they are package groups that play 2 games a day, or a night in this case. And so this is the second time out for both of these groups. And Ryan, you were such a strong defensive player. How much more can this group gel when they have a second game to work together?
The one thing about having 2 games together is that you understand what somebody can and what somebody can't do. So when one of your teammates is lacking in one area, you understand, hey, I might need to lean on or help him more in that certain area. So I think that they're able to gel and be able to understand by the end of the season what everybody can do well.
Kingpins will start on offense. Deacon, one of the fun things here, the power-ups, 3 opportunities to really tilt the odds in your favor.
That's right. You got the power play where you take one of the defenders off for the whole series. You got the progressive fit down. And the Wendy's flip the field, our version of the punt, as we get our first play underway here in this final matchup of the day.
And Terry Jones will take it himself. He'll pick up a couple to get things underway. Jones, the quarterback, freshman at Morgan State some years ago out of the Washington, D.C. area.
One of my DMV homies right here. Terry Jones was a standout at camp in Atlanta during the tryouts, one of our final tryouts that we did across the country. I keep saying globally, nationally here. And so is...
one day we go global.
Yeah, one day we're going global. But for now, Terry Jones standing out from Atlanta, drafted here to be the starting quarterback of the Kingpins. And one of the greatest things about this league is that you get to continue to have a draft every week. You franchise one player, everyone else goes back into the pool of free agents, and it allows you to continue to strategize every single week.
And I love the open tryouts as well. It gave an opportunity, as you talk with the coaching staff, Sean Liotta, during our draft on Wednesdays, looking for diamonds in the rough. They found some of those guys throughout those nationwide tryouts. Steve Aoki in the house, Coach Jenks. Steve Aoki, of course, one of the co-owners of Aoki, the squad making their debut.
Did you guys see that guy's hair next to Steve Aoki? It's like pink and blue, like polka dots.
Love it.
They didn't get a second look at that. I appreciate anyone with hair, so. It's,
oh, man, that's
yeah.
how you feel?
I've got not that problem.
That was a big bruising hit, Daryl Verges.
Kingpin, you fans are doing exactly what I expected. Toss the Verges on the edge. He gets on the edge, and what he does, pisses his shoulder down. He takes a big hit right here, but then just continue to run through and still falls forward. That's what you get when you get a big back. But that was a wonderful hit by number 26, Benjamin Hunt. That was a great hit.
Ryan, you see someone like Verges barreling down on you. How do you deal with him as a defender?
Normally, as a defender, you want to get to guys faster. You want to get to them before they catch their head of steam. But right there, Verges he had a full head of steam, but it's some guys, they understand, hey, man, like, I'm going to take a hit, so I might as well give one back. And a lot of times those bigger backs, they're not expecting to get hit like that. So it was actually nice to see Hunt deliver the blow. Obviously, he absorbed it, but that's one of those situations where I think Verges was a little caught off guard.
Yeah, this is one where I kind of make an attempt, throw my body at like the lower body. Hope he trips up. Someone else can clean it up.
That sounds like a DB that's like short and small that doesn't want to tackle people.
I was smaller than most people. Shays.
First half action here. First down. After that run from Verges, Jones fakes handoff and running into trouble, and he is tossed down. Tingy Hill coming across, the returning Season 1 veteran. Let's take a look at our officials in this one. Session 2 referees tonight: Trentus Livingston, the referee. 2 Willingham, our head linesman, Alan Skinner, and Keith Cooley on the whistle tonight.
So fans at home calling the plays so far. 3 run plays in a row. Maybe that last one kind of a high snap. But if you want to get involved, call some plays. Like, hey, how do I call some plays? Head on over to fcf.io. From there, you'll create an account and pick a team, and then you start picking plays regardless of whether your team is playing. You can also download the app on the Apple Store or on the Android Store through Google Play. Remember, create that account, and then it's really, really easy. You get to see 6 plays pop up, 2 run plays, 4 pass plays, and from there, watch the magic happen.
And perfect timing, again. Just saw in the chat, Old Man says, who's calling these plays? You guys are. That's who's calling the plays. It's on the fans here in Fan Control Football.
Yeah, it's called Fan Control Football. You guys control everything. And Kingpin, like we said, you guys have this big O-line, this big back, and just seeing it on the screen, I guess you guys are going with the run again.
Here's the toss. A little bobble there. Verges circling back in their direction. Full head of steam. 10-yard line to the 5. He's cut down there. Just shy of the end zone. Daryl Verges, when he picks up steam, very difficult to stop.
Daryl Verges, man, he's a guy who's a lot faster than he seems. The Kingpin pitched him the ball on the left side. He knows nothing's there. Abort, abort. And then he just follows his blocker. And you see, he has the vision to understand, like, man, I'm fast enough to get around these guys. Gets on the edge, sees what's available, and then just gets into the progressive first down and then finish off with a dance.
Yeah, tough job there by Nate Bresson, who looked like he had a good contain on the edge. Verges able to get outside, and a great block by QB Terry Jones to spring him not only for 10 yards, but all the way down the field. Huge run here.
Yeah, 27-yard gain for Verges out of Trenton, New Jersey. Spent some time with the New York Giants in the offseason back in 2017, also a little bit of the CFL, and he has gone through some trials and tribulations in his life to get back to a place where he could play football. And one of those inspiring stories in this league of guys that just never gave up.
And you constantly see it in that play right there. That was a play that a lot of running backs would have gave up in that situation. They make the toss, see everybody in the backfield, but Verges understands what he has, his abilities, gets back on the edge, and gets them into the 4-yard line.
Here in the progressive blue zone now from the 10-yard and in. It's a 1st and goal from the 3. Kingpins knocking on the door. Jones rolling right, tries to turn that corner. He is stood up and pushed out of bounds at about the 1. Good closeout there by the Kingpins.
Yeah, again, something that we'll take a look at here, not only as, I think, a coaching group, but as fans. We are running a plays and not able to flip the field, and we're trying to run this QB keeper, a power play, if you will, onto the right side where there's not that much space there, only about 10 yards of width on the outside. But maybe it looks different if you run to the longer side of the field. So don't worry, fans. I see you in the chat saying, hey, how do we flip the play? Why are we running to that side? Maybe that's something that we can work on here for week 2.
So one thing that I do know from playing is that a lot of times you put your quarterbacks in those type of situations because on the open side of the field, there's a lot of field and there's a lot of defenders over there. So sometimes they may have the play set up so the quarterback can run to the short side of the field, because if something's not there, he can just run out of bounds. So I don't know what the reasoning behind it. That could be the reasoning behind it, but that's something that we're going to have to figure out.
2nd and goal on the 1. Toss Verges. And right into the heart of the Adoki defense. 3 bodies there to come across, including Jordan Harold.
Yeah,
as a defensive player, if you run the ball 6 times in a row, I'm going to think the 7th one's a run. So the D block was right there in the backfield, and they just understood, hey, we're not allowing you to continue to run the ball on the edge. And you see number 13, Shelton Lewis. He was right there in position.
Yeah, Shelton Lewis, another one of the standouts from this season in the Orlando camp. Huge competitor. Sometimes getting a little beat, but every time he got beat, they ran it back in those tryouts, and he has a huge motor, not afraid to stick his head in there and make a tackle on a big running back that we've seen make big hits already.
So that was a 1-yard loss there on the carry by Verges. Leaves it at 3rd and goal from the 2. About 12:15 left here, first half. Kingpins trying to punch this one in. Coach Jenks looking on, head coach here in the fan-controlled football league. 3 receivers in right now for the Kingpins.
All right, here we go. Tony Disco. We get to see the first time of Terry Jones' arm.
Jones takes it himself, no arm needed, walks it in for the touchdown. Kingpins are on the board.
Kingpins, I think you guys knew exactly what you guys were doing. You were like, hey, we're gonna play a run. We're gonna set up a pass, get them to block, and we know Terry Jones is gonna run in. And I think that play worked exactly how you guys wanted it. You see, he set up, waited, play open. All he has to do is get 2 yards. And when you have a guy that's very athletic, he sees that the linebacker can't get to him in time. That's a good job by Terry Jones.
All right, chat. I see you, Gutter Cat Gang. Where's the gang in the chat? There you go. I made your shout out for you. That is one of many calls that the Gutter Cat Gang likes. So let's see some gangs in the chat if you're a Kingpin fan.
Man-up opportunity here to try and secure 2 points. This is what the FCF does in lieu of any sort of kicks. There's no point after attempt. It's the man-up. It's worth 2 points from the 5. It's worth 1 from the 10. On paper, the quarterback's supposed to get rid of the football in 3 seconds. They've been a little lenient with that timing, but here's Jones now to try and work with Elijah Rogers. Getting separation, but not for long. Knocked away, coming from behind. It's Hunt on the defensive end, and that keeps it 6-0 in favor of the Kingpins. When we return, Aoki will get their opportunity on offense, but for now, we take a timeout and return to Pullman Yards after this break. It's the Kingpins on the board first. 6-0. Here's a look at the quarterback for Aoki, Mitch Kidd, and then back to the Kingpin sideline. Here's a look at their drive summary. 7 plays, 40 yards, eating up a lot of clock, a lot of ground game attack. 8-12. It ends in that quarterback rush for the score. Now Mitch Kidd back to live action. Speaking of quarterback rushes, doesn't see anything downfield and takes it up close to a first down.
Aoki right here in this situation, they understand, like we said, they set up the pass. There was nothing downfield because the hitmen just do great defense and just took away the pass. And Mitch Kidd, that's what he needs to do, step up in the pocket and make sure that he gets as many yards as he can get.
Mitch Kidd going very high in our Week 1 draft. He was the 4th pick overall to Aoki. Fans, don't forget our next draft coming up this Wednesday right on cue. Steve Aoki joining us after his live set in between games 3 and 4. But this Wednesday, right back here at Pullman Yards, draft heading into Week 2. We'll have 3 weeks of drafts and rosters will lock. So a real opportunity to adjust your roster. If you don't like what you're seeing from your team here today, make those changes come Wednesday.
That's one thing that I love about fan control football. If you see something that happened this week that you didn't like, you can go back next week on Wednesday and then just change it all up.
Yeah, outside of your franchise tags, an opportunity to mix things up. Is big handoff here to Aoki. It's the run for Josh Robinson. Former 6th-round pick of the Colts out of Mississippi State and still has the wheels, taking that down to about the 10.
Yeah, and a lot of that had to do with the O-line that y'all picked for Aoki. DeMarcus Hayes under Dang, Alex Hill making the way here. Again, you could just see how big those linemen are, and it's a lot of room for the running back to go on through. Huge play. Seeing in the chat a couple of y'all asking, how do we pick plays? Well, if you're on Twitch, go ahead and refresh your page. It'll say, hey, one of these teams playing, pick one. You get to pick one, and then you should be able to see 2 run plays for pass plays. And then for longer-term growth, go to fcf.io, create an account, sign up. You'll be able to connect your account onto Twitch and then start gaining fan IQ, which makes your vote worth more. You're one of the smarter play callers in the league. Your vote will have higher weight so that if you want to run, higher likelihood you're going to get a run here.
So if you're a fan of another team, are you able to vote on these teams?
You're able to predictively vote and gain experience that will lead to it showing up more on your game for your team.
Okay.
1st and 10 for Kidd, rolling right, has all kinds of time to the corner, falling down and hauling it in. It's a touchdown for Aoki. Joseph Boykin.
Aoki fans, that is an awesome play call because you understand what type of quarterback you have and you understand what type of receiver you have. You guys put him You guys put Boykin on the edge and allow him to go across the field, let the play develop because of your O-line, and then Mitch Kidd, he just puts touch over the ball. Watch right here while you see the line develops time for him, and he just sits in the pocket, put touch over it so the DB couldn't get it. Perfect pass, great placement, falls right into his hands.
Mitch Kidd has hearing. He's got vision. He's got smell. He's got taste. But what's his best asset? His touch. There it is. Right on over into the back of the end zone. And these two teams played out exactly like they thought we would based off of how the fan bases drafted these teams. A running game here for the Kingpins, and Aoki over the top. Mitch the Kid doing the work.
And now the point after, it's the man up, going for 2 to try and put Aoki in front, 8-6. Kidd working here with Cedric Bird. Going up against Divis Latham. Bird, beautiful move inside, and an easy 2 for Cedric Bird.
That was a excellent executed route. Bird does a good job of stemming upfield, putting his arm on the DB and know this is not a pass interference, and then just cuts inside immediately. Perfect placement on the ball. You couldn't ask for a better pass and route and catch.
One of the great parts about the man-up challenges, it's one-on-one. It's an island. You got everything to show. There's nowhere to hide. And a big, big play there by Bird. Extra points win games. Aoki up right now, 8-6.
The one thing that's surprising about that is Boykin and Elion was the second and third pick, and Cedric Bird was the one that they put in on that conversion right there because of his route running ability.
Love that.
Well, if you like the shirt that Steve Aoki is wearing, you should go buy it. Get your official FCF gear. Go to the FCF store shop now to receive 20% off your game day purchase. Code is GameDay20. Scan the QR code on your screen now or head to store.fcf.io if you're an Aoki fan. Great shirt. Other options available.
Greg, are you and Mitch Kidd related? Because that touch was pretty smooth right there.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. It's probably the most athletic thing I've done in a long time. So.
Woo!
That play is blown up in a hurry.
D-block Nick Williams is right there and did not allow that play to develop. They understand right now that all Kingpin does want to do right now is run the ball. And Nick Williams, he gets his pass underneath the Kingpin O-lineman, and then there's no hole for Verges to run into. So him and number 90, Kevin P. Freak, they both were there and right in time.
Yeah,
Petit Frere.
Frere?
Petite Frere, just so Kevin's family doesn't come for us.
Chat's coming. Chat's coming for you. Chat's coming to Shays right now. Petit Frere.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Petit Frere.
There we go.
This is the different thing with the live Twitch broadcast. You get instant feedback if they're like, wait a minute, who said that?
Yeah, that was D-Gon.
Yeah, my bad.
Second and 11.
Ooh.
Real trouble. Taken down out of bounds.
It's that man again.
What pursuit. And this time it is Slick Nick. Nick Williams, the returner from a year ago.
Nick Williams just bull rushes number 74 for the Kingpin and just told Darius Crosby, get out of my way, and then pushes Terry Jones out of bounds. I don't want to say anybody else.
And Coach Jenks had to hop out of the way, too, in those Technicolor pants.
Slick Nick did exactly what his name said he would do. He was slick in there and got there pretty quick in a hurry.
Yeah, he's pretty big for Slick. 6'5", 295. Taller than every single offensive lineman on the Kingpins right now. And those are two back-to-back impact plays. Remember, you get to draft your defenses as well on these Wednesdays. D-block, they got Nick Williams. He's making big plays.
3rd and 18 now after that 7-yard loss for Jones on the takedown by Williams. In his own end zone now. Jones stepping up, eludes the rush. To the 10, now the 15, out of trouble. He'll be hammered into the wall. Terry Jones flat out crushed out of bounds.
Whoa. That was a big hit by Hunt. Oh, my gosh. And that is a cornerback. right now you see Terry Jones in the pocket. Nick Williams does a great spin move, avoid the linebacker, and then tries to get out of bounds, and Benjamin Hunt is not playing with this man right now.
We've been talking a lot about these offensive players, quarterbacks, receivers, superbacks. This is the first time where we're not even through a half and we're like, holy cow, these defenses are making plays. D-block, you got a ton of heavy hitters, and I haven't even talked about Darius Dokes, the chosen one. Darius Dokes is a heavy hitter. He hasn't even had the chance to make a play yet. So Shelton Lewis making a big hit, Benjamin Hunt making a big hit, and Nick Williams disrupting the back. You love to see it from Terry Jones, making sure he gets the first down. But that's like the third or fourth massive hit he's taken so far, and we're not even done with the first half yet.
Benjamin Hunt is the same guy that gave the big hit to Verges.
Yep.
And this is a cornerback. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. That's actually a bigger cornerback, so I'm not surprised he's hitting like that now. But, man, he's showing you, hey, I'm not out here to play.
Yeah.
You run my way, you're getting hit.
All right, again, we've said Kingpins, they're the running team, but y'all going with Haas Fly. We got to see Haas Fly be one of our more successful plays because all teams share the same plays that worked well for the Zappers. Let's see if Terry Jones can do it with the arm.
Now, even though we saw the big hit, Jones did gain 19 yards on the run. That was good for a first down, so he keeps the drive moving here. 5 minutes to play in the first half. That is complete, and trying to move upfield to the 25, Elijah Rogers.
These are massive hits.
Can we change their name from D-block to heavy hitters? No, not heavy hitters, but
massive hitters?
Big hitters or something. I don't know.
D-cleaters? Like, look at Keith Rainwright on this one. He watches his teammate hold him up. Bah! Oh, my goodness.
His teammate might have got part of that, too. Just coming in to deliver the hit. Second look here, courtesy of Great Clips.
Rogers does a good job of getting upfield and then just fighting through the hit. It still allows his team to get 5 yards on that route and continue the train's movement. But that was a great hit right there by D-block.
All right, looking in the chat here, I see y'all at FCF on Twitch. They're saying, keep the tight end in, please. We'll see what y'all vote for here on the Kingpins.
Wainwright hit him so hard, his helmet turning white.
Yeah, you see the front of his helmet there. Taking some of that white jersey paint with him, perhaps. Or some of that silver helmet, one or the other. Under 4 to play, first half. 8-6, Aoki leading Kingpins. Kingpins on offense here, and they go back to Verges. He's undercut and taken down at the 20 before he could really get that locomotive moving, because once he gets out in the open field, it's where he's been proven tough to stop.
The trench man opened up a hole. Verges was getting in it, and Wainwright just does a good job of avoiding number 74, Darius Crosby, right here, just slows plays it, and gets underneath so Verges couldn't go anywhere. That's actually a absolutely phenomenal linebacker play right there, because it's called over my tracks, under my tracks, or on my tracks. And one thing that Darius Crosby he was over his tracks. So if the train's over your tracks, you hop back and you're right in time for the play.
4th and 1 now. Don't forget, you see the scoreboard graphic here. All these teams still have their power-ups in play as we're closing in on halftime. So if this 4th down didn't work out, you do have correction, 3rd down. So we're not to 4th yet, but if we were to get to 4th, we'd have a potential 5th, other options at play.
Greg, are you the one who's naming these plays Sex Panther?
I've had no input. These are
sure.
Some of these plays come over from last year, although if I can take credit for the one, Computer Blue, I'd happily do so. Here's Jones. Jones wrapped up, eludes. Jones throwing off the back foot. Looking for a flag was Tracy Gaston. Nothing there as that one sailed by.
One thing that the referees will definitely do, as we've seen a lot of talk about calls, non-calls, if a pass is uncatchable, they will not call pass interference. And I think that's the case in this one. There was a lot of contact there, but I don't think that's catchable. Yeah.
In this situation, I think that Terry Jones was just trying to get rid of the ball. But Nick Williams, Slick Nick, is a problem. Right now, he is making it very difficult for the Kingpin to establish any type of pass game, because every time they drop back, he's in the backfield immediately. Terry Jones is doing a good job of avoiding him, but right now he's making it very difficult for the Kingpin to be able to pass the ball.
So now 4th down, 1 to go. About 90 seconds left in the first half. We'll start to see some clock stoppage at the 1 minute mark. But for right now, it keeps on rolling. And sweep the leg. Paying homage, I'd imagine, to the Karate Kid.
This was the play they ran earlier to that small side. I was like, I don't like it running the small side. Let's see if it happens again.
Jones sending Gaston in motion. Now trips to the far side. And Jones does look to run to that right side, does pick out the yardage. Official will say he stepped out of bounds before he got a little further, but accomplishes the task with that first down.
Kingpin, you guys are some physical fans. I like it.
So Jones on the ground gets the first down for the Kingpins. They are on to the 15-yard line. We will take a timeout. 1 minute remaining in this first half. We're back after this. Tonight's game is brought to you by Link2, private investing made simple. Kingpins now with 1 minute to go in this first half. They've got a first down and 10 on the 15. Kingpins, 14 plays. They've stayed run heavy, 12 runs for 60 yards, just 2 passes for 5 yards.
We knew this going into the game. The Kingpin, they built their team to run, and that's exactly what they're doing right now.
See where they go here. Oh, surprise, surprise to Verges. Takes a bump, maybe a yard before he's pushed out of play. And these plays near side, guys, they're so close to us. You hear some of the talk after the hit, in addition to feeling the rumble in our booth.
Yeah. And a lot of these guys, they've been living with each other. They know each other. They might be teammates next week. So as much as you didn't like that last play, you don't hold them against them. You played hard. All right, cool. Get over it.
Oh, they could be like brothers. It's like we talk every day, and I will bite your head off.
Yes, that is definitely what I say to my brothers too, Shaves. They're normal. But I mean, Verges and Wainwright, those guys running right into each other, maybe that is what they would say after a big collision like that.
Well, and Ryan, how often do you hear, right, during NFL training camp, it doesn't really feel like it started until there's a fight?
Yeah, especially in NFL training camps. It's a lot of times that you're just going against the same guys, always doing the same things, always in the same type of motions. And after a while, you get tired of it. So fights started, towards the end of camp, fights started to happen a lot more often.
48 seconds left, first half, 2nd and 8. Jones, a rare throwing opportunity. Let's fly. It's tipped and unable to hang on. Tracy Gaston.
Nice guy, Eddie, the call there. I like the crosses that you at home were able to call, but Terry Jones a little bit behind there, and that'll stop the clock.
The one thing about not throwing that much is that the chemistry and the momentum is not as smooth as it normally will be.
Here's a look inside Pullman Yards field level. We're almost to the end of week 1, but if you want to join us for week 2 and beyond, get your tickets now. Head to fcf.tixer.com. Secure your passes to check out this amazing state-of-the-art custom-built production facility just for fan-controlled football right here inside historic Pullman Yards. Never know, Steve Aoki might be here. It's all possible.
All possible.
The owners always come. There's generally at least one owner from each team each week. Pretty crazy. You never know who you're going to see, and you get to see some up-close action every single time. There's not a bad seat in the house.
Also, looked like Aoki added some eye black. Maybe he's closing in on adding more football equipment as we go. 3rd and 9.
Hopefully not playing.
Yeah. 3rd down here, Kingpins. Vergie in motion. Jones to throw. Off the back foot. That one going to be a little too far. Tried to find number 13. Actually, make that number, what do we got here? 43. In the back of the end zone.
Kingpin quarterback Terry Jones, he's doing a phenomenal job of moving around the pocket, but that means that D-Block's D-line is doing a phenomenal job of getting back there.
That was Tyrus Black.
The clock won't start until after the ball is snapped after each play.
So now we're under 30-second timing, where we'll stop after every play, moving towards halftime here. Aoki leading 8-6. Kingpins looking for that answer.
Like we talked about earlier, the Kingpin O-line, to me, is built for the run. And they're doing well when it comes to running the ball. But right now, they're really struggling versus Slick Nick and the D-Block's D-line when it comes to pass plays. So right now, they have to do a better job of establishing pass blocking for their quarterback, Terry Jones, to have some type of consistency.
Yeah, and you guys just called Crypto Connect. This is a route where the tight end is going to go out. So if the defensive line that's covering the tight end rushes, he should be wide open. But if he doesn't, it's 2v3, and Terry Jones is going to have to run for his life.
Slick Nick just moved spots. He was like, I'm not about to guard no tight end.
Yeah.
Here's 4th down. Jones moving right, gets that one away. It's complete, just shy of the 5-yard line, able to push it down to Elijah Rogers. And officials signaling that is a 1st down. Okie defense arguing the call. Get a second look here, courtesy of Great Clips.
Right now, the Kingpin quarterback, Terry Jones, gets on the edge, finds Elijah Rogers right here on the edge, and he established himself as a big target and just make sure he gets the 1st down. That's one thing that you always want to make sure you do in 4th down situations. Always have somebody at the sticks to be able to convert in that situation.
Inside the progressive blue zone now, anywhere inside the 10-yard line. And just enough on that last reception. Jones to Rogers, 8 yards, now 1st and goal from the 5.
Yeah, and think about it. That last drive, that last set of 4 downs, it started with the pitch outside to Verges. After that, 3 pass plays in a row by you Gutter Cat gang. So let's see what happens here for our Kingpins. Going with another pass. It's a buck wild. So you got the option routes at the tip of them. A lot of them going to fall short here because you're so close to the end zone. You don't have as much space to run by.
Rogers all the way near side, single coverage. And Jones eluding a rush, in a lot of trouble, and he won't get far. Taken down, Keith Wainwright.
Deep block was red tee. Kingpin, they tried to get the ball on the edge. They tried to put their quarterback on the move and allow him to use his mobility to set up the play. But Wainwright and Nick Williams, they both were right here in this situation. Nick Williams does the spin, and Wainwright blitzes, and Terry Jones, you're fast, but not that fast, my brother.
Yeah, and on the defensive side, or where the receivers were, it was just one big cluster there on the left. The defenders were all over the receivers here. Again, the clock will stop every play because we're within the last 30 seconds. But, man, passing has been really difficult here for the Kingpins.
Now dealing with a 2nd and 13 after Jones lost 8 on the Wainwright sack. So a couple of changes for the Kingpins on offense. Still plenty of time.
Kingpins bringing in 2 tight ends.
Look at that. Detective right here. But it is a pass, but the tight ends are staying in here.
Jones again being pressured and can't get that one on target. As it's been the story all half, this front line of Okie just bearing down on Terry Jones.
Teams, fans, next week on Wednesday, make sure if you want a defense that gets after the quarterback, whatever the D block is, think about those guys. They're constantly in the backfield. They're constantly causing pressure. And Kingpin is doing a good job of controlling the clock. But once they get in these type of situations when they have to throw the ball, it makes it really difficult for them to establish any type of pass game because of the rush that D block is causing.
Right, and the defenses do not change players within that defense. So you're always going to have Slick Nick there with Bresson on the outside, Jordan Harrell pushing, and Jazier's favorite name, Kevin Petitfriere, also on that defensive line. So this whole defensive line, the linebackers and the corners will always be one unit in D block that you can draft on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Here's Verges trying to stretch things out and will not get far as he is pushed out of play on that 3rd down attempt. Just a 1-yard gain for Verges.
Verges gets on the edge, but the Aoki defense is just shooting gaps right now. When they know they're going to run the ball, that's exactly when you can shoot the gaps. And then you have Sheldon Lewis right there, and you have Wainwright, and you have all these D linemen that's causing pressure in the backfield. It's really hard to run or establish anything right now. Kingpin was able to move the ball down the field, but once they got the ball down here, they literally, the only thing they've been doing is going backwards.
And remember, Part of his play calling, too. If you want the opportunity to call plays, head on over to fcf.io, register, create an account, download the app for your phone, whether it's an Android, whether it's Apple, head to that store, or even attach your account to your Twitch account. You can start calling the plays that these players here on the field are doing right now.
Where do the Kingpins go here? On 4th down and 12. They do have their 5th down if they choose to use it. Jones instead looking end zone. A strike is there, and a touchdown for the Kingpins. It's Elijah Rogers.
There it is, gang, gang. Finally getting that pass game going. Y'all going back to it over and over again. It pays off. Terry Jones gets the payout. Touchdown to the Kingpins.
Elijah Rogers was the second round pick for the Kingpins. So this is somebody that's a staple for them. And right here, he comes off the line slow and just sits in the zone, gets into the end zone, and makes sure that they score the touchdown. You look as Terry Jones puts the ball right where Elijah Rogers is in the zone to make sure that it can score.
Rogers trying to maybe avoid a little hit there, dip that one across the goal line and pull it back. That'll count for 6. Kingpins now in front, 12-8. Just 1 second left here in the first half, so should see Aoki get one final play after our man-up opportunity. Tracy Gaston here will work with Terry Jones.
Man, that feels like big relief there, because it feels bad when you get all the way down the field. Your fans are calling plays to get you down the field. You can't punch it in, but they get it in there on 4th down.
Going far corner, trying to turn back for it, not there.
As a defender, there is no worse feeling knowing that your team gets all the way down the field and does not score.
How about it giving up a touchdown with 1 second left, knowing that you could have stopped it?
Yeah,
is that the bad feeling number 2, Shays?
Yeah, no, that's bad too as a defender. When it's 4th down and you'll let them score on 4th down, even though it's kind of 4th/3rd down because they have the progressive 5th down.
Yeah.
But whenever you let them score this late into the game, this type of situation, it always sucks because you never want somebody to score on you on a 4th down when you feel like this drive is over.
So turning the page here, we know that Aoki only has 1 second. We looked at all the plays, because I got to see it too. There was only one choice here. We're going OGP Diddy. It's basically the Hail Mary right here.
Mitch Kidd with 1 second left.
Is he Aaron Rodgers? Does he have the touch?
Send everybody deep.
Does he have the time?
He's going to try and go quick out. I don't understand that one, as that will be all for this first half. So they decide against trying to go downfield to score the football. Instead, we pull into halftime where the Kingpins lead Aoki 12-8 at the break. Pushing one in just seconds ago to go in front. Got a highlight brew break on the way. We return with second half action in Atlanta after this. Halftime here in Atlanta, Georgia, where the Kingpins lead Aoki 12-8. Kingpins tacking on a score late in that first half. Let's take a look back at what transpired in our opening 20 minutes in our final game of the night as we start season 2.0. Scoreless early on, and Kingpins showing their ability to run the football as Terry Jones kept it on the ground. And Ryan, that was a bit of a theme here, keeping things on the ground.
Yeah, the Kingpins are doing a good job of just keeping the ball on the ground. The time of possession, they have 17 minutes to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So the Kingpin, like we said, they're controlling the ball, they're controlling the game on the run. And while the Aokis, they scored in 2 minutes. They tell you how potent they are in the pass game.
Yeah, and Degon, this was kind of what we thought we'd expect from both of these teams.
Yeah, what I love about this is that not only are the players on the field playing how we expect them to, but the fans with the play calling after constructing their teams are being disciplined to play calling that makes sense. A lot of the time you start to panic. You're like, we got to throw the ball. Why are you throwing the ball? The team is made to run. Just stick with it. And our fans at home have done exactly what they needed to do.
First half stats here, and you make a good point about these fan bases. The ones that stick together, the ones that work as a community, those are the successful squads. Rushing yards in favor of the Kingpins. About even here on the passing situation, and you look at what they've been able to do, 4th down conversions, and for all those numbers, a fairly even ball game here, Ryan, an opportunity for either side to surge ahead.
Yeah, this is a really even ball game, and the reason that it is even is because that the Kingpins have been controlling the ball. They haven't actually given the Aoki's time to get the ball back. They only had it one possession.
Second half on the way. We take a timeout and return. We'll get you back to Pullman Yards after this quick break. Kingpins in front of Aoki, 12-8. Upstairs, we are thrilled to be joined by a special guest, Kevin Ness, joining us here in the booth. And Kevin, so good to have you here with us.
Thank you.
One of the early investors of Fan Control Football. And I don't want to call you a prophet, but I think it's worked out. What made you sign on so early?
Because I believe in Sarab and Cyrus, who showed me this. Plus, who doesn't want to have Tecmo Bowl where you can influence live players? I mean, think about that.
That's why we're here. We're loving this to see the investment come to life. What's that experience been like for you?
Awesome. It started as an idea that you just heard people talking about. Now, look at this field. But most people who are just watching this right now, they don't understand what the vibe is like here, how exciting this is. Being a fan, I was just sitting over there watching these games, and now I'm sitting up here in the stadium. You come to this place, you get to be part of football, and there's nothing better than football in this entire world. Football's the best.
Oh, I think Ryan Shazier would agree with you.
I completely agree with you.
Are you jealous to not get down there?
Yeah, I'm definitely jealous. I definitely would love to be down there and playing football, and I don't know if it would be fair if I was down there.
Yeah, I know, Chase.
You say that, but Tio was down there, and these FCF players put him in his place a bit there.
Yeah, but Tio, his position is a dependent position. Mine isn't.
That's true. That's true.
My position is I can go out there and tackle whoever I want.
Yeah.
So the fans didn't get to see Tio warming up. I saw him. He was dominant. That guy can still play.
Yeah.
And I think it shows how good the FCF players are to be able to force him to not touch the ball really until the end of the game.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, Kevin, because I think one thing as we get back to live action here and we're in the second half, one of the things people wonder about FCF is what's the level of play. And I think we saw it in Season 1, we see it again here in Season 2. This is not guys who don't have any skill, right? There are some next-level players.
This is elite right here. I see Jamal Anderson up there. I'm sitting with watching this game, and he's talking about how good these players are. We have multiple NFL players over there talking about how good these players are.
Yeah, it's a lot of great talent in here. We have a lot of guys that's been in the NFL. We have NFL Hall of Famers, and we have guys that's been on the practice squad. And a lot of times in the NFL, there are situations where guys are good enough, they just don't fit the height, weight, speed. So they fit the height, weight, speed here. So I'm really excited just to continue to watch how things go.
What these players have is passion. I've seen this. I've been at the hotel seeing where they're staying, and they are so grateful to be able to play here and show their talents. These people are putting everything on this field, and I think it shows. And that's why you fans out there are having an amazing experience.
What is one of the best things that maybe the fans could experience if they came here? What is the favorite
Steve
thing that you
Aoki
got?
just had a concert. I mean,
There it is.
think about that, okay? I was talking to Jamal Anderson.
These are all things that are possible if you're able to make it down to Pullman Yards and come experience the FCF live.
Absolutely.
We're talking with Kevin Ness here. Kevin, this league is built on innovation. What's the next move here for FCF as they continue to grow and get bigger and better?
So the key thing about the FCF is this is more than just football. This mentality is thinking about how can fans out there influence the game? How can your mind influence the live sport that's here right now? So they're going to span past football into baseball, into basketball. They're going to dominate with football first, and you can see it. You got to get down here and come to Atlanta, Georgia, because this thing is special. I'm blown away in my experience today.
Aoki back on offense, Kid there on the carry. And how about the camera angles? We were just marveling at the drone, the spider cam, all the angles. You don't get this anywhere else as we're looking straight into the eyes of a drone.
You talk about the technology, but I don't know how many fans out there are using all the options in that app. There's an enormous amount of angles there that are special that they don't have in the NFL. This is a really cool place. I want to jump out and grab that.
Don't let me touch it.
So you asked about Future expansion. Think about this, where this league can actually incorporate the drone in the game. Imagine if they put the drone down there where you got a power play, we put the football on that, and like an alley-oop or hook and ladder, the drone became part of the game. That's what's unique about this league is we don't know where this is going to go. The fans are going to call it. But we're not limited by the old school of NFL football. We're going to take this in unique ways.
That would be crazy if you guys added the drone into the game.
Absolutely. You could look at the stands that are right here. The people. You can have I was excited to see Terrell Owens grab the seats, pull up, grab an extra 18 inches and grab the ball. Is that inbounds or out of bounds?
We're talking here with Kevin Ness. Kevin, appreciate you stopping by. I have to ask, when you walk into this venue, we asked you what it's like to see this investment come to fruition, but what sort of pride do you feel? You helped build this thing along the way, and now you're here inside this facility.
I just gave money. You guys built this. This is an enormous amount of pride. And it's connected to football and sports, and it's a whole new dynamic, the whole Web 3.0, the way the world's going to transform when fans get involved with sports is exciting to be part of, and I'm grateful.
Hey, Kevin
Thank
Ness,
you.
Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate your support of FCF,
Truly.
and appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Kev.
Thank you, Kevin.
We're here in the second half, and we've got Aoki and the Kingpins. Kingpins in front, 12-8, and we talk about technology, Degon, and one of the things we just saw, the play overlay that is so much fun here with the FCF. We see immediately what it is that you, the fans, are calling right from the app, right to our overlay, and we know what's about to happen. It's Mitch Kidd. The quick out, and there's a big hit as that pass was incomplete, and the receiver paid the price. We continue to see some monster hits.
Yeah, from both defenses here. I'm very impressed with D-Block, which was Aoki's defense, and this here, the hitmen coming on through. All available during the draft on Wednesdays, as the teams will constantly be flipping over other than your franchise player, but a big one delivered there by Alex Bush. Alex Bush was the top defender in the man-up challenges. And you can see exactly why. He covers a lot of ground, and when he has the opportunity, able to make a big hit. One of the leaders here for the hitman.
And he was great to watch on Wednesday, where people thought in that man-up challenge, okay, a linebacker here, he's just not going to have the ability to dominate there.
That's
and
what I thought.
And he kept dominating.
Yeah.
And you know what was so fun to watch in that drill, too?
linebackers.
The fatigue factor, right? Because you just keep going. So every time you make a stop, you got to go back out there. He was winded and kept after it.
That's the problem. Don't undersell linebackers.
Exactly. Downfield here, trying to pull that into the corner of the end zone. Waiting for the official signal. Coming down with the football is Joe Tito. Touchdown's the call.
Spider Cam got caught in its web a little bit. Let's take a look at the replays here. Again, you all at home help make the decision if it's a touchdown or not.
Officials quickly converge to discuss. Second look, courtesy of Great Clips.
And we're talking about that touch. He puts the touch
Only
right
on the
there,
field,
only where
it's a
Tito can
touchdown.
grabs it. Over the back shoulder,
Oh!
foot down, knee on the line. We're going to have to see. This is a perfectly placed ball. Foot in first. Hey, it's up to you guys if you guys feel like it's a catch. This is a very
Looks
great
like
play.
knee down, right, as he's coming down.
So his foot hit first before his knee went down. So to me, that I'm not going to tell you guys what I think it is, because I don't want to control the voting over here like Degon.
Hey, that looked like a catch to me, man. I'm controlling the voting here. I was impressed with this. Watch this first hand, though, right? It looks like he controls it with one hand here. He goes up with two hands, but that right hand, watch the ball stop spinning in his hand.
His foot's down right here.
And his foot's down. That looks like control to me.
That's a catch.
Chat's
Officials-
popping off with me. Chat's going with TD as well. All
The
right.
fans have voted that the ruling on the field is confirmed touchdown.
There you have it. Fans confirm what we thought. Touchdown is the call for Joe Tito. Big man there, 6'4", 270, getting up to haul that one
Flag
in.
will occur on 1 point.
Part of that whole group here, the block party, that just are very, very big. They're very big, all 6'5", 6'4", and up. It's massive. They want to run. They want to pass the ball, and that's what they're doing.
And that's exactly what they're doing. They're setting up protection for Mitch, the kid, to be able to do what he wants. He's constantly paying touch on every pass that he's thrown, and the Aokis, they're getting exactly what they paid for. They got Mitch the kid. He's 4 for 5, 53 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. They're running it here and there when they want to, but they're constantly having touch on the ball and just making great plays.
Confirm that Aoki will go for 2. If someone were to go for 1, that would be news. It is yet to happen. Almost everyone goes for 2. Here's Malik Ilion to try and come up with this conversion. Breaking to the outside, Ilion hauls that in. The conversion is good. That's a difficult ball to come up with, and Ilion is there.
That was a very hard catch and a very hard throw to make. And they both made them. Aoki's, hey, I don't know if y'all playing good because of Steve Aoki is here, but But Mitch the Kid.
Deacon, Ryan Shazier, Greg Meskel here with you from Pullman Yards. Opening day, now opening night of Fan Control Football Season 2.0. Fans back in the stands here for the FCF in 2022. Kingpins back to work. Verges sheds one tackler, running out of real estate, and they will bring the big man down inside the 5.
Kingpin right here, they just continue to try to run the ball, which is what has gotten you this far. But Verges sometimes has to understand you have to give up when it's right in front of you.
Here's that Aoki drive summary. It takes 6 minutes, 20 seconds to do it. All results in the Tito 18-yard touchdown reception.
That one came from Mitch the Kid, and Mitch the Kid, very much a product of what this generation of football, what FCF is about. We heard it during the mid-session show with Josh McCouga, head of content here, director of content here at FCF. Mitch Kid basically lets the fans pick everything about his outfit every week. So the towel that you see Mitch Kid, quarterback for Aoki, wearing is from the hotel. He was like,
what?
You could pick this, or the hotel towel, and Pan selected the hotel towel, and so that's his towel that he's wearing around his hip when we take a look at Mitch when he gets back on offense. But back to the Kingpins.
Kingpins in their own end zone. Jones looking for anyone, spots a man. That's complete to Elijah Rogers. Again, all kinds of time. Terry Jones in his own end zone just looking for help, and Rogers getting open.
Terry Jones, he has time, but the time he has is because of himself. He continues just to run around the pocket, takes a hit, and then finds his favorite guy, Elijah Rogers, right on time.
So for those of you watching on Twitch, I got to shout this out. 100,000 followers from today. Great job, everyone, for following. Tell your friends, tell your family. You can watch on multiple platforms, obviously, NBC, NBCLX, Peacock, The Zone, Fubo TV, and Twitch. But 100,000 of y'all hopping on in and being part of this movement here, disrupting football.
And now let's check in with Liv Moods. Liv.
Yeah, I want to talk about Joseph Boykin really quick. He is a hometown hero from Atlanta, already has a touchdown on the board, had an incredible first season last year in the FCF, and he is back and clearly better than ever. I'm very, very excited to see him finish out this game and hopefully keep 8 Aoki in this one.
Joseph Boykin, a couple of guys have been able to stay home right here in Atlanta, get a chance to play in the FCF. Boykin, one of them. Thanks for that, Liv. Helmet popping off for Verges, and then a little push afterwards. Some shoving and pushing here as Daryl Verges turns that corner, loses his hat, and then some words for the defense.
Kingpin like running the ball. They get their big body back downhill, and then, hey, he's like, get out of my way. Get out of my way, and he talks smack while he's doing it.
Yeah, again, we saw Sheldon Lewis not be afraid of sticking his head into tackles. Again, I think less so on this one. He looked like he was just kind of bracing himself, but Verges has been taking a lot of big hits. That's his game. And the Kingpin fans, they know it. That's why they keep going back to the run. Look at that. That last one getting 9 yards. You fans at home, you want to get involved, head on over to fcf.io. Register, create an account, pick a team, and then start play calling on your phone or on Twitch.
Greg, it's really interesting how we talked about these two styles of play, and you're actually seeing in the time of possession. The Kingpins, they've had the ball for over 20 minutes, while Aoki's just had it under 9 minutes. So it's crazy how the different styles of the game controls the time of possession.
Especially with the running clock here in the FCF. You add that in with a run-focused attack, you're going to just drain the clock. Sliding down to grab that ball. E.T. Giles is on the board here. Kingpins connecting Jones to Giles.
There we go. It feels like Terry Jones starting to get into a rhythm here. Rolls to the left and then comes back as the pocket opens up to the right. And you guys at home call that Eddie play. It's a multi-option route here for E.T. to run. He runs it across the field, makes the catch. First down for the Kingpins.
I don't know if Terry likes to do this, but he's doing a very good job of throwing on the run. He's constantly on the move, and he's throwing dots. Like that pass right there to E.T. was low, but only E.T. can catch it, and he made sure that his receiver was protected. But he's also, every other pass that he's thrown so far has been on the rim.
And part of me is starting to wonder if this defense is starting to wear down. I know, D-block, big hits for sure, but I'm not sure if you can see the pads there on Big Nick Williams. They're going up and down very high because he's gasping for breath because he's been chasing around Terry Jones.
Terry Jones, you talk about his ability to pass the football, especially on the run. 5 of 9, 50 yards, and a touchdown. And looking to add here for the Kingpins. They've had that balance. You added that Verges, 43 yards rushing the football. And that's been their 1-2 punch here with about 8 minutes to go in the second half. Jones goes right back to Verges. Slick Nick had a handle, and he'll take him down. And what a night here for Slick Nick Williams. Continues to be a problem here for the Kingpins.
Slick Nick Williams, look right here. He just pushes his way straight through the trenchman. He just basically said, I'm getting through this hole. I'm Moses, and we're parting the Red Sea. Daryl Verges is trying his best right now, but he's constantly having D-block in his lap every time he touches the ball.
It's all love, though. You could see the big smile on him. He was going back and forth, John, this time with Jordan Harrow, but they slapped each other's helmets. Again, these guys have been training together, working together. They survived cuts together. They did tryouts together. And so, again, a lot of rivalry, but camaraderie as well between them. As we go back to our play call here by our Gutter Cat gang, the Kingpin community. Gang going with the Wolf Pack underground. And it's another opportunity for Terry Jones to show his arm.
I like this play because it's going to allow him to get on the move.
Jones rolling left. Drilled from behind. Ball pops loose. Up for grabs. Scooped up and taken back by Tingy Hill. He is down at the 20. And that defense, that D-block squad again for Aoki. They brought the heat and then recovered the fumble.
Nick Williams uses his signature spin, and Terry Jones isn't protecting the ball right here. Nick Jones just hits him with a D-block hit like they've been doing all game. He wasn't aware and just forces the fumble and then allows his teammate to be able to pick the ball up. Tiggy Hill.
Slick Nick, a.k.a. Slickless Nicholas, as he calls himself. He often says it only takes one. That's part of his slogan for his clothing line, and that was one big hit to pop that ball loose.
Yeah, St. Slickless came early, gave the gifts of a massive hit. We are in full form. We're in mid-season form right here with our rhyming, with our nicknaming, because Slick Nick making it easy for us, and now it's time for the kid, Mitch Kid coming in.
5:35 to play here in the second half, and again, defense. This has been a theme throughout the day. Some dance moves here now available as well. Enjoying themselves in the luxury box, but the way the defenses have played.
The game is the other way.
Yeah.
She's turning the wrong way.
I tell you, look, if you're going to show us dance moves, we have to say something. Here's a handoff. And a couple of yards there.
T-Con can not stop laughing
I think
right
we
now.
just lost Egon. He's done. He checked out.
I was just trying to look that way, too, to see what was so interesting. This game looks really good, though. I would suggest watching the game, you know?
Josh Robinson, he's following his blockers, but Kingpin does a good job of setting a new line of scrimmage. And when I mean setting a new line of scrimmage, that means that we're pushing the offensive line backwards, or the offensive line can set a new line of scrimmage by pushing the D-line forward, but they set a new line of scrimmage by pushing the line backwards and not allowing Josh Robinson to move forward.
Fans, don't forget to get your official FCF gear. You're an Aoki fan, a Kingpins fan, one of the other squads you saw here today. Head to store.fcf.io. Use the promo code GameDay20 to save 20% off your order, or you can scan the QR code on your screen right now and pick up your FCF gear. We're here in the second half. Week 1 coming to a close. Wednesday night draft on the way right here at twitch.tv/FCF. Another helmet popping off here on the carry for Josh Robinson. So we don't want to give all the defensive love to Aoki, right? Kingpins defenders coming over now to make some hits.
Kingpins defenders have been doing a good job all game in stopping the run, and they're constantly in the holes. And right here, Justin Foster just does a rip move and then just dives through the back end of the play, and this is called a stretch play, and he does a good job of running it down, just running flat down the line of scrimmage and not allowing Josh Robertson to get anywhere.
Yeah, the Hitmen, they played also. The defensive groups will always play 2 games. They just played the previous game on Should Have Been Stars, and I got to shout out my boy Justin Foster. Again, business owner, a moving business from Birmingham, Alabama, was like, I'm going to continue playing because I still got it, and proves it right there on that play as he chases down the stretch play, showing off his athleticism.
Fans, now time to make your call for the Gatorade Player of the Game. Cast your vote exclusively in the Twitch chat. Who do you think should be the Gatorade Player of the Game? We'll tally up the votes and tell you later on tonight. Under 3 to play now in this one. Kidd avoiding the rush downfield, right between the hands of the defense and then off the hands of the receiver. 2 guys had a crack at it. Intended for Cedric Byrd. He couldn't hang on.
That's one of those, as a receiver, you're like, all right, I got to get ready to make a tackle, and you're starting to switch off, and it goes right through the hands of James Knox. Great job by the kid sliding up in the pocket, and oh no, Mr. Byrd, he ran a great route earlier in the man-up challenge on the first touchdown to get the 2 extra points, but on that one, it's a tough one.
I don't even think the defender touched that.
I don't think he did either.
Went right through the hands.
Mr. Kidd has great
touch.
He got a great touch.
He got great touch. That's his best sense.
No, honestly, right there, that was just a phenomenal throw. He steps up into the pocket. He throws the ball right over the defender, puts it on his receiver's shoulder pad. There's nowhere else he could have asked for it unless he wanted it literally in the bread basket, and unable to come down with it.
Aoki ahead 16-12. Looking to make this a 2-score game. Kidd on the move, directing traffic, got a guy, touchdown into the end zone for Joseph Boykin.
Liv just called his name up. She said, hey, I like seeing the hometown kid who's playing well. We need to continue to give him the ball, and what do? They give him the ball for the touchdown.
And that's the 2nd touchdown for Boykin. You mentioned Liv Moots talking about his hometown vibes, and he is delivering here in front of the fans in Atlanta with a 2nd touchdown grab. That puts Aoki in front 22-12.
Kidd gets on the edge, and then he points and does a playmaker and basically tells Boykin where to go on the edge of the end zone, gets the 2 feet down, walks in, and I don't know why we're reviewing this because he literally just walks in. Oh, we didn't review it. Okay, I just want to make sure. And look at the fan engagement. Look how close he is to the fans.
Autographing the football. Part of the experience here at fan-controlled football. Join us here at Pullman Yards this season.
I got to ask y'all, where are my Aoki fans in the chat? You see a lot of the gangs when the Gutter Cat gang gets called out here, but where are my Aokis? I need to know.
The squad Aoki going for 2 here. And that one just dropped. That was Joe Tito trying to hang on. He made that epic catch earlier. Couldn't haul that one in, and it stays 22-12. So 90 seconds left.
Greg, you want to know? Greg and Degon, you want to notice something that I've noticed this game?
What's up?
Every single pass that Mitch the Kid has thrown has touched the Aoki's hands. They're touching their hands. It's just people aren't coming down with them. They're literally. You can't ask for better throws. He only has 2 incompletions, but every throw is literally touching somebody's hand. It's just they're unable to come down with it.
That makes sense, too. Danny Southwick was also throwing towards Aoki players in that last game, but that's all right. He's a tough game. He'll bounce back. Maybe Aoki will have to draft him next time because that was very accurate. Plus, Mitch the Kid's stock is just going up and up and up.
So I don't know how the draft works, but I'm guessing if you win, you don't get a pick as early as you got last time.
Well, this first week in week 1, we had the new squads. The Ballers Collective got the first 4 picks because the OG squads got to tag franchise players. It'll be a change this time around. All 8 will get a franchise tag. We'll see how the draft order goes. And that ball somehow caught stepping up and stepping in. Touchdown! Just that fast for the Kingpins. Elijah Rogers. What an answer.
This is a touchdown league. You have to touch the man that's down to make the play be finished. And right there, the Aoki's, they almost thought about it as college. He caught the ball, and they didn't touch him and declare he was down, and he scored the touchdown.
Also, what a super throw by Terry Jones, who gets absolutely drilled into the wall while he's throwing it, as we take a look at it one more time. But watch this one again, the effort by Terry Jones. Y'all at home calling a play, change it up. It's gonna be a pass for this team that likes to run, and watch that drilled into the wall.
What a grab by Rogers to come back and get that ball. Under review at the moment as we wait on the two-point conversion. What a response for the Kingpins, by the way, wasting no time getting back in the end zone if this one stands.
This is up to the fans if this one stands. To me, that was a catch. I don't see the ball touch the ground, and then nobody touches him. So Elijah Moore understands, hey, this is professional. I understand it's 1 foot in for the catch, but you have to touch me down to declare I'm down. They do a good job right here of showing that, hey, we're still in this game.
Took all of 12 seconds.
After further review, the fans have decided the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Fans lock it in. Touchdown is the call. 22-18. Kingpins trail.
I just want to let you all know that Degon voted no, that wasn't a catch.
All right. Shays is throwing me out there, man. All right, this is the first one that was really close. It definitely secures right away, but the left hand was in such an awkward position because the right hand had nothing to do with securing it. The left hand was such an awkward position. I was like, how did he get it under? It looked like he trapped it, but either way, great throw. I love the fact that you're seeing a cult hero right here for the gang, the Gutter Cat gang, Kingpins. Terry Jones is laying his body out on the line for this squad here. It is awesome to watch.
The Kingpin fans have confirmed a two-point try.
We've got a two-point attempt locked in. Jones back at it with Rogers. Rogers falls down, gets rid of the football, tipped up, excellent help. What defense from Shelton Lewis.
Shelton Lewis does a great job right here on defense. He puts his hands on the receiver early. Right here, you'll watch it. He has his hands on Elijah really early, and then now he just plays through the ball. And everybody's like, why is his hands on him while he's in the air, while the ball's in the air? In the red zone, they allow people to play football. You can continue to touch each other because each player is touching each other.
Where the offense will receive the ball at the 10-yard line for one play to gain a first down.
So Kingpins trailing here with less or 5 minutes or less in the second half can institute the comeback rule.
Continue in the series.
It sets them up with one down on their own 10. They've got to get a first down to keep their drive moving. Otherwise, football will go back to Aoki.
That's right, instead of onside kicks. Think of it as a fourth down. Fourth
Comeback
down on the 10.
rule
This
is
is
confirmed. The Kingpins will have the ball at the 10-yard line.
And this is what FCF does right in lieu of an onside kick.
Would you use a power play right here?
Yeah, 100%. If you're allowed to do that, I would definitely be like, all right, take a defender out too.
Can you use a power play right here?
Especially since
Greg?
you're sitting with 119 left and you've got all your power plays left, it seems like a great time to unload one. Here's a look at the comeback rules. Again, similar to the onside kick, as we told you. And this was a change this year. There was adjustments to that rule a season ago. Now determined you have to be trailing, and it has to be 5 minutes or less left in the game. We saw last year the way the FCF can adjust on the fly. Teams were figuring out how to convert so easily. They were using it repeatedly, even when they were leading in football games, and it became just an onside kick, quote-unquote, fest. A good change this year for the FCF.
Got to get to the 20.
Here's Jones. Stepping up, has that lane,
20.
Moving towards the 20, diving, and he gets there. Ball pops loose, though. We'll see if that's ruled down. Looks like the officials are saying he was down prior to that ball coming out and rolling forward.
Yeah, I think either way, that's got to be a first down unless there's a flag or something. I see a couple defenders pointing, but again, Terry Jones, man. Kingpins, you got a real one here. A steal one, if I will, because he is just laying his body out.
The comeback onside kick was successful by the offense. They will retain the ball for another series personal foul, face mask, number 95, defense. 10 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Well, double bonus here. So you get the first down on the comeback rule. Terry Jones showing off the speed. Then you add on a face mask penalty going against Aoki. That'll add on another 10 yards. Things trending in the direction of the Kingpins when we return. 1 minute remaining, second half. We go to 1 minute timing rules. We'll see the clock stop on first downs, plays out of bounds, and then we move to 30-second timing rules where we'll stop after every play.
And so let's look at this one more time. I see a couple people in chat saying, hey, he fumbled it. But of Aoki saying, hey, he fumbled it. That should be our ball. But if you actually think about it, the Kingpin should say, hey, we fumbled it. Look how many yards we get on the fumble. The ball actually goes like 10 more yards downfield before it bumps out of bounds. So, Aoki fans, hey, just be careful there.
I'm going to tell everybody how fumbles work. So on fourth or fifth down, the way fumbles work, if you're not touchdown and you fumble forward and you get the ball back, the ball comes back to where you fumbled it. But also, Aoki's, you guys hit the ball out of bounds.
Here's Jones now. Avoids the rush, and that one a little low. Also on that run, it looked as if the ground caused the fumble as he went hard to the turf. So now a second down. 22-18. Aoki trying to see if they can hold off this Kingpin rally. Kingpins get the touchdown, then they come back. They enlist the comeback rule. They keep that drive alive, and now working here on that comeback opportunity.
Kingpin fans, I think you guys have to be very careful in this situation because you understand how good Aoki is at passing the ball. So I think this is a situation you have to be very careful if you want to run it or if you want to pass it. Obviously, you need to score. But you have to also understand, hey, how much time can I give Aoki the ball because they have scored in very, very short time.
And remember, the clock is normal clock rules right now for the next 30 seconds, so we get to under 30 seconds. So one run here will get us down to 30 seconds, and it'll stop every play after that.
Jones looking, let's fly to the end zone, touchdown again, Elijah Rogers. Kingpins, they go in front.
And we were giving them a lot of trouble earlier, but this time, gotta shout out the big center there. Darius Crosby buys a ton of time against Slick Nick in the line so that Terry Jones can throw a dot to the back of the end zone. Little bit of bubble there, but they bring it in, score the touchdown, and take the lead. Huge stuff here for the Kingpins. We watch it one more time. Keep your eyes right there in the middle. Big 71, it's actually Kamali Matthews doing a great job there on Slick Nick and buying time. So we want to shout out everyone doing good there. Great job, O-line.
19 yards, Jones to Rogers, and what a day for Elijah Rogers now. 6 grabs, 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. On a 50-yard field, that's a night.
That's more than a night. That's one of the better nights he's probably going to have. And I know this is just the beginning. This is one of the first games. This is the first game of the year. And receivers-wise, I don't know who had a better game, him or Andrew Jamil today.
That's a great question. 2 guys that really played well. And how about this Kingpins offense? 2 touchdowns in 44 seconds. Looking for 2 more. Ooh. Good stop and start, and 2-point conversion is there for Tracy Gaston.
That's a wonderful route by Tracy Gaston. He sets up as if he's going to do an out route, sits it down, and then converts it back inside. And Terry Jones just waits for him patiently within that 3 seconds to allow them to get a touchdown for the extra point.
So 26-22. We've seen similar scenarios throughout the day. 47 seconds left. And now it's back to Aoki. And again, with these timing rules, they'll have plenty of time to work their way back into this game.
I'm going to be honest. I know we asked who is the player of the game earlier, probably about 5 minutes ago. But the player of the game could have definitely changed by now.
I was going to say, all of you voting on your phone, voting for our Gatorade player of the game, there's no option for the Colt hero, Terry Jones, man. You got Mitch Kidd, Daryl Verges, Joe Tito, Elijah Rogers. Elijah Rogers had a day, but who was feeding him? the man that was getting crushed in the backfield every passing play, Terry Jones. So maybe we can open that one back up, but make sure to make your vote right now in the app. And if you're wondering what app, head on over fcf.io, register, get the app, Apple Store, Google Play.
Kidd, high snap, handles it well. Ooh. He'll look way downtown to the end zone. Tipped up, dropped. Had his man in the end zone. Could not convert.
Aoki had plenty of time in this situation. Watch right here. Mitch the Kid, he has all the time. The running back helped in the pass game. He pitched the touch like we've been talking about all game, and then just has a jump ball situation with his receiver. And right here, he needs Bird to come down with that. He pitched the ball right in the bread basket. Watch right here again. He puts it right on his chest. You couldn't ask for a better ball in that situation.
James Knox there defending as Cedric Bird so close to coming up with that one.
That's the second time we've seen that same battle. Remember, that was on the opposite side. It went through Knox's hand, hit Bird in the shoulder pad. This one hits him in the chest pad. But one thing you can definitely take away from this are both quarterbacks are having a day. Both number 4s, Mitch Kidd and Terry Jones, doing great. But now it's Mitch Kidd's turn to do the magic. 37 seconds left.
And plenty of time. They don't have to go downfield if they don't want to. Can work the middle of the field, run the football. Here's Kidd trying to go outside, and completion is there. Able to convert to Joseph Boykin. 30 seconds left now in this second half and here in this game. And now we go to 30-second timing rules. We'll stop after every play with Aoki trailing by 4.
This play right here shows you how good Mitch is as a quarterback.
He
steps up in the pocket and just sides arm it to the sideline where Boykins can just catch it and nobody else can, and just make sure they can get some type of yardage in that type of situation. You see right here, he sideline catches it, gets out of bounds, solid catch, 7 yards.
Aoki, they've yet to use a power-up. They've still got power play. They've still got progressive fifth down, still have flip the field from Wendy's, and this could be a great power play opportunity over the next 30 seconds. Give them that 7-on-6 edge.
I'm surprised that neither team used any of their power-ups, at all.
I mean, this is true, but they wouldn't use the Wendy's one because the Wendy's flipped the field because they've been so efficient on offense.
Yeah, no need to punt. Kidd, under 30 seconds.
Ooh.
Eludes the rush, in trouble, throwing on the run, tipped up, and last touch. Kingpins as that one fell off the hand of Stuyvesant Latham. He tried to pull it down with the right. And quickly now, a 4th and 3.
Kingpin right here, they put pressure on Mitch the Kid, and Mike him rushes out of the right side of the pocket and almost threw an interception right here. Elion, the ball's in his hand. That's just one of those situations that he can get the ball back.
One thing I've loved watching Mitch Kidd here, even though we haven't seen a lot of them because they've been so efficient in terms of ball possession, is that he never gives up on a play. He's always looking downfield. He's not looking to run first. He's not trying to throw the ball away in terms of just like live for another day. He's like, hey, is there a safe play that I can still make while I'm running for my life? Yes, there is, because he's got a great arm. He needs to come up with it now. Remember, they do have the progressive fifth down as well.
Yeah, definite 5-down territory here with 21 seconds to go, second half. Kidd again throwing, complete. That's good to Elion. And he is out of bounds. He'll get the first down with now 15 seconds left. So they'll advance, setting up a 1st and 10.
Fans, just so you watch on this replay right here, Aoki puts their receiver in motion, and that lets them know what Kingpin is in, if they're in the zone or if they're in the man type of defense.
Looks like we could have a power play coming up here. They've held on to it.
The fans for Aoki are voting for a power play to where one defensive player will be removed from the field for one series, touchdown or turnover.
This seems like a pretty straightforward vote for all you Aoki fans. You have the opportunity to play 7-on-6. It seems like this is a no-brainer, and now you have a huge advantage. 15 seconds is about 3, maybe 4 plays. We've seen passing plays that take a while to develop, take up to 7.
Aoki fans, one player must leave the field.
And there we go. One player coming off here, and it's a 7-on-6, 15 seconds left. And very smart play here by our Aoki fans.
Hung on to all their power-ups and are able to deploy this one now, needing a touchdown. Trailing by 4.
The timing for that was phenomenal.
Right.
They end up getting a 4th down and just understanding, hey, we have time. We have 15 seconds. We understand the clock is going to stop every time. We just have to make sure we don't hold the ball too long. And also, this is another situation that normally they have to be in some type of man defense because you took somebody off the field.
So 7-on-6 advantage now for Kidd and Aoki. And he'll go right downfield. Tipped away. What coverage. Again, Stuyvesant Latham, we called his number quite a bit.
Stuyvesant Latham on Elion was white on right. That was excellent coverage. Watch right here as Mr. Kidd, he puts the ball in great position, but you can't even see Elion because how close he is to him right here. And then he put his hands through the ball and doesn't even allow Elion to see the ball. That's great coverage.
Fans at home, you got to love something that Shays just gave y'all. In 6v7, you'll see a lot of man coverage. Running straight line, not necessarily it. A lot of crossing routes are where you get mad confused on man coverage plays. You got a couple plays. Remember, the clock will stop no matter what. So if you get tackled in the middle of the field, that's okay. It's like you got a timeout. Use that space when you're thinking about your play calling, which you're using on your app or on twitch.tv/FCF right now.
Also try to use double move type plays as well, because double moves, you have to understand the defensive player has to be extremely patient when trying to guard somebody in that type of situation.
9 seconds left now. 2nd and 10 on the 24. Kidd, eyes downfield once again. Time winding down to the end zone. Knocked away with just 2 seconds left. This is setting us up for one last play and a chance for Aoki to go for the win.
Jays, watch the defense on this one. Everyone just drops back into cover. There's no one there.
Yeah, they made sure they didn't catch that ball. There was no D-line. There was no linebackers. There was just straight DBs. Everybody was a DB on that play, even the D-linemen.
So it comes down to this, 2 seconds left. 26-22, Kingpins in front, Aoki. One last opportunity for you, the fans, to try and give that man a victory. He called for it earlier on tonight.
Will they call a timeout?
Looks like Aoki may have called for time.
Timeout.
And they have. So Aoki will take a timeout with just 2 seconds left. 26-22, they trail. A lot of options here. Of course, it has to be something, Degon, going to the end zone.
Yeah, when the plays pop up, I'll definitely give my 2 cents. But you guys at home, you have all the power. The power's to the fans. But, again, you probably will be playing. We just saw what the Kingpins want to do. They're willing to just drop everyone back and give Mitch all day. A lot of the time when you're a quarterback, you're not used to that. But if you take all day, literally a 20-second play, the defense will get tired. Someone will be open. Take the time to make the right call here. You got 2 seconds. It's only one play, and that's it.
Are there hook and lateral plays in there?
Not scripted, no. If that was scripted, that would get called every time by our fans. I know it.
Yeah, like you said, if the quarterback can just sits back there in the pocket, but like also if you have 6 guys that drop it to the end zone, it's gonna be really tight windows to throw those balls into.
They break the huddle using their timeout here in the second half. With just 2 seconds left in their final play. What do we got, Degon?
No huddle, no mercy. It looks like tight end on the left side will be the safety valve. You got a post, a corner to the right, so it's going to be very, very busy.
Boykin, Elion, Bird. Here's Kidd. Time has expired.
All day.
Aoki for the win to the end zone. It's caught! Touchdown! Joseph Boykin, and that's your game!
Wow! The hometown kid. He must have listened to the broadcast, Liv. That is crazy how this game just ended.
We're going to call that the Liv buff. Liv needs to do that every time and say, this is my guy. That was amazing.
with no time left. Mitch Kidd to Joseph Boykin. He adds his 3rd receiving touchdown on the night, and it seals the deal for Aoki.
Score is good.
They win it 28-26. A thrilling finish to start week 1, season 2.0 of the FCF. We'll take a timeout and return to wrap things up here from Pullman Yards. A highlight finish. Mitch Kidd, a bullet to Joseph Boykin. And the Atlanta kid hauls it in for the win. We're back after this.